Many have seen this brilliant creature hatch on the beach shores. If they are lucky, the babies will make their way out into the wide and vast ocean. But how did these land-dwelling creatures evolve into the many species of freshwater and saltwater turtles? That would be the evolutionary history of turtles. The story begins with the Enotosaurus africanus, 260 million years ago, during the Permian period in Africa. This turtle had teeth, an elongated trunk vertebrae, 5 pairs of gastralia, and 9 pairs of dorsal ribs in a T shape. Mid-Jurassic epoch brought the species of Papochelis 240 million years ago. While the bones of the origin species could later evolve into a structure for the lower and upper shell of the present turtles, this two species already had broad rib structures to advance the turtle's stability. Stability gives the turtle the ability to burrow to hide from predators in an unsafe environment. Even though this species was said to have lived 400 million years after the origin species, these gaps in fossil record do not disprove evolution. New discoveries of past species are being found continuously. The gap is just because the species have not been discovered yet. Later in the Jurassic period, about 220 million years ago, Odontochelys semesticea evolved to have a plastron, the bottom portion of a turtle shell that is part of the exoskeleton. This turtle evolved off of the China coast. Where there were broad dorsal ribs and neural plates, this species still did not have the top half of the turtle shell, the carapace. It had claws and teeth, unlike present turtles. But the evolution of the bottom shell was a start. The bottom shell most likely evolved to protect the turtles from predators such as sharks below them in the water. This shows how evolution is not because life is improving so the species are becoming better. Instead, species evolve because the more favorable conditions are chosen for species who survive in their environmental conditions. Next came two of the last stem turtle species that existed around 210 million years ago, the Progenocylus quenstedi and the Proteroceras. The Progenocylus, the beast turtles, had the shoulder and pelvic girdles that were similar to modern turtles. This creature lived in the desert in what is now present-day Germany and Thailand. More armor was needed while coexisting with dinosaurs, so it evolved to have an upper protection. What was similar about these species' features with modern turtles is that it had a carapace, no teeth, and contained a beak. What was unique about the Proteroceras was that it seemed to have some similar aspects like side-necked turtles, which is one of the two taxonomic groups of turtles today. So the beginning of the side-necked suborder may have started in the Triassic period. The other suborder is the hidden-necked turtles. This story began in the late Jurassic period with the Caentochelys apex in present North America. However, before North America was present, there was a continent called Laurasia. When this continent split, about 110 million years ago, the brackish and salty swamps were starting to be inhabited by the stem turtles. The North American water environments led to the beginning evolution of some species into freshwater and saltwater species today. Taking from the design of the Progenocylus turtle species, the turtles later lost their neck, tail, and limb armor, but kept the plastron armor for protection. Without the limb armor, the limbs and claws of the turtle ancestors evolved into the modern turtle flippers. Many different turtle species started to evolve, and some of these species could be grouped into different kind of groups, one of which would be soft-shelled turtles and the other would be hard-shelled turtles. When the soft-shell/skin-shelled turtles first evolved, it was enormous in size. The Archelon turtle was 4 meters long with 5 meters flippers and lived in North America 90 million years ago. As the Archelon turtles became apparent in many other parts of the world, they evolved differently. When dolphins and whales evolved about 200 million years ago, the soft-shelled turtles could not compete, and the only survivor was the leatherback turtle that we know today. Then the stem turtles evolved to form what are called hard-shelled turtles. But 80 million years ago in the United States, the Caentochelys acris evolved and had some similar aspects of present sea turtles and snapping turtles. About 40 million years ago, the Chelonian marine turtles evolved. They had armor for protection against predators, allowing there to be 6 species of this turtle still alive today. The present reptilian turtles have been seen to best fit in a group called Archelosauria. Some of the turtles' closest extant relatives are crocodiles and lizards. While this may seem surprising at first, if one compares some ancient turtles to lizards, it seems quite accurate. After the Chelonian turtles led to some of the present turtle species, the world began to see more of the modern and beautiful species of saltwater and freshwater turtles that we see today across the waters worldwide.